back to my YouTube channel. I am a level 1 IFS practitioner, and I also practice a lot of holistic and energetic modalities. And I am an artist and writer. All of that to say, on this channel, I like to marry IFS with the holistic, energetic, and creative expressions to help you on your healing journey. Today, I have...
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm back.
Yes, and I'm really glad you're back. I loved in the sound that people recognized you.
I know. I felt a little bit famous.
I literally say I'm like a local celebrity.
I guess so.
I was like, that's really cool. So in today's video, we're going to talk about polarities.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, so polarities are two parts, two types of protectors. Usually, it could be two managers. It's not typically two firefighters, but it could be. And to be honest, it doesn't always matter if you call it a manager and a firefighter. They're protectors that are in opposition with each other. So they're disagreeing. They're in conflict over something. And what happens is it causes that feeling of stuck over something. And I thought it'd be really helpful to give an example instead of just explain.
Yeah.
And I know before the video started, because we did this video before,
Mm-hmm.
and it ran really long. And I know that can often be because I'm trying to come up with an example on the fly. But I was thinking of in a relationship when we're kind of debating about talking about our own needs or wants. And there can be a lot of fear around that, you know?
Yeah.
So one part could be like, if we really need to say it, we really need to get this out in the open. And that could be at work too or something, right? And then another part's like, hell no, we're not doing that. And the thing is, both these parts, and this could be for a variety of different little ones inside or those excess they're protecting, have this burden of, you know, we won't be seen, we won't be heard, or somebody might leave me, or somebody, you know, loss. So they're both typically protecting the same part, but that part, but they're doing it different ways. Does that resonate? Like, and it doesn't necessarily need resonate personally,
Right.
But does that make sense the way I explained it?
Absolutely. I think the fear around both parts is really interesting in that both parts don't recognize that they have the same goal, the same end goal of protecting a really scared, young, vulnerable part. But oftentimes they believe their way is the only way, or that they don't know that there's another way.
Right. And that's a really good point you're bringing up, is that they're both in extreme roles. And when there's a fear like that, and that's why I use relationships, it tends to put us more in extreme roles. It's like, I remember hearing this saying, if you want to know your flaws, get into a relationship. So, but apparently I don't need a relationship to do that, but never mind.
Me neither. So
but anyway, the you know, it's because that fear is so great. Loss is a huge fear. So they're going to be like, we're not going to move from this position. And then they're going to fight each other more. So the greater the energy, the bigger the protector, usually the bigger the fear, the bigger, and the more vulnerable the exile. So, so how does this get addressed, right?
It's a great question.
Yeah. Luckily, I do have some answers. That way. Be bad to ask it and say, and tune in next week. But what usually happens is, like, we usually like, I gotta get rid of that part, you know?
Yeah.
This
I don't
one,
want to feel this way anymore.
right, this one needs to shut up and we need to do this or that. But actually, because we, as in ourself, have the ability to hold space for both of them. And there's almost like a relief, like, what do you mean? But kind of curious about that. So we can listen to both sides of it. And when we can do that and say we don't have to choose a side, there becomes this ability to like have less pressure. Because a lot of times it's not as much the conflict as the pressure between them. And when there's just some space, we hear them both out, they diffuse. Because if you think about two magnets that are on the opposite side and you're pushing them together, the pressure increases.
Yeah.
But when you spread them apart, you don't feel that force. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a really great kind of explanation. Making something really abstract makes sense when you feel that kind of like the polarity essentially of those two magnets kind of repelling each other. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you get to know each of them, you get to know their fear. And you let them know, you know, you're just going to go at the pace of usually the loudest one. Then you get to know the other one. But it's really getting to then, when you can have that relationship, you can then get to know the one with the burden. When you can release that burden, all of a sudden, these two aren't in conflict. That's a lot longer process than 90 seconds. But it lets you know that there is a way to get out of being stuck and in conflict. Did you want to add anything else to that?
No, I like what you described as the pressure, because I feel like oftentimes, at least in my experience, when I have two opposing parts around an issue, like to say something or not to say something, it's almost the pressure of being forced to make a choice. Like I have to do one or the other. And it's kind of like the one that's pushing to do something is making the other one retreat, which is increasing the fear and the anxiety. But this fear and anxiety is like, no, we've got to do something. No, we've got to do something. So it is 100% like the pressure and feeling like, oh my gosh, we have to do something or something horrible is going to happen.
Right.
And I think that's another part.
So it's interesting
around
that there's
it,
two
around
polarities
that
there.
But yeah, I think it's that fear of doing something, and then also that same fear of not doing something and like not making a choice. So that's a question you often ask me, like, what if you did nothing?
Right.
And so
it's like, oh no, we're not going there.
Yeah.
But
it is essentially kind of like, it feels like your parts are kind of chasing each other a little bit.
They are.
Sense. Yeah.
And another question to ask for next time would be, why? You know, is there a reason for that, for staying away and moving out? And I often find that's to get further away from the vulnerability.
We're on this. You are probably sense that. But we were on the same wavelength there. It's like nice distraction from trying to figure out what to do instead of actually
why you're doing it.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Unless there was anything else you wanted to say there.
No, I think that covered it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here again.
Of course.
And thank you for tuning in. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button below. And if you like the video, hit the thumbs up. For that, I think they're both thumbs up. I don't know. But anyway.
Hit them anyway.
And we'll be seeing